and I really mean this, shocking new report on education is out that finds that black students are suspended and expelled 3 times more often than white students. Maybe even more shocking, that trend actually starts as early as preschool. Black students in that grade face tougher discipline than other students. Take a look at these numbers. While black children in preschool comprise just 18% of the preschool population, they make up 42% of preschoolers who are suspended at least once. Having grown up with black siblings, having heard my sister get called the N-word at school when she was just a little kid, this is heart-wrenching on a personal level. But it also has repercussions for the fabric of all of our lives. Joining me now to delve into this report are MSNBC political analyst and former RNC chair Michael Steele. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, sir. And Lisa Bloom, Today Show and Avvo.com legal analyst and author of Suspicion Nation, the inside story of the Trayvon Martin injustice and why we continue to repeat it. I'll start with you, Lisa, and thank you for joining us on this. I cannot even wrap my mind around the scope of these stats and how early this discrimination appears to start. What do you attribute that to?
That's right, and let's keep in mind, this is a Department of Education study of all 97,000 public schools in America. So it's a very broad study, and it's not by some radical outside group. Listen, I have a chapter about this in my book as well. To me, this is the primary reason why there's still so much racial equality in America. Because at the beginning, in schools, there's so much racial inequality. Most kids in America today go to segregated schools, and we know that kids in majority black schools get about $733 per pupil less funding than kids who go to majority white schools. Kids in black schools are less likely to have teachers who are competent or proficient. The schools are often crumbling, toxic, toilets don't work. I mean, the list just goes on and on. We cannot claim to be an egalitarian country as long as we allow this to continue.
What are kids that young even getting suspended for?
So that's a very important point. We know from a lot of psychological studies that African-American boys in particular are perceived to be more hostile and threatening than white boys who engage in the same behaviors. And I think this huge rise in suspensions and expulsions of African-American boys is in large part a result of that. I talk in the book, for example, about Trayvon Martin, who we know was suspended 3 times. Suspended for tardiness, are you kidding me? Suspended for 1 incident of graffiti on a locker, and suspended for marijuana residue in a baggie. And I drill down on his school's own rules. Don't provide for suspensions in 2 of the 3 situations that occurred for him. I think he's a perfect example, unfortunately, very sadly, of this trend.
Trayvon Martin, who's come to represent so much, also possibly representative of this startling trend.